65 million years in the past, the Cybertronian spaceship utilized innovative devices called seeds to whittle down the dinosaur population on Earth, leaving behind a metallic landscape ripe for the picking by new transformers. However, fast forward to the present day, where geologist Darcy assumes command over a dig in the icy Arctic and houses the frozen transformers in hopes to extract their precious metals. Meanwhile, living in Texas, Cade Yeager, a struggling robotics inventor, joins forces with business partner Lucas to purchase an array of used components from an old rundown theater. In the midst of it all, Cade unexpectedly stumbles upon an old, rusted truck, which he buys for a mere $15. Harold Attinger stood before the hearing, boldly declaring that he initiated Operation Cemetery Wind to apprehend the remaining Transformers. Only a handful of Autobots were spared, while the majority were forced into hiding, becoming prey for Attinger's agents, namely the vengeful Savoy, still reeling from the loss of his sister in the Chicago battle 5 years prior. Savoy, in cahoots with the ruthless intergalactic hunter, Lockdown, exchanged his services for Optimus Prime. With Ratchet fatally wounded and ultimately put down for refusing to comply, the stakes were higher than ever. Meanwhile, in Texas, Cade's daughter, Tessa, returned home and was crestfallen to discover her father was in dire financial straits, struggling to pay his bills and keep a roof over their heads. Although she wasn't thrilled with the situation, Cade implored her to have faith in him and his plans. The following day, after staying up all night analyzing the truck, Cade tells Lucas and Tessa that he picked up a transmission from the truck saying, "Calling all Autobots." To their great surprise, Cade has just realized that it is a Transformer. Despite being shaken, the trio revives Optimus Prime, who informs Cade that Autobots are being relentlessly pursued by Lockdown and needs to be rescued. Consequently, Cade urges Lucas to scavenge the parts required to fix Optimus in town. Unfortunately, Lucas has different plans and sells them out to the government for a reward. The consequence? Savoy and his team arrive and threaten Cade with Tessa's life when he slips that he has Optimus. After Optimus charges out of the barn and heroically rescues them, Shane Dyson, Tessa's enigmatic boyfriend, arrives and whisks Cade, Tessa, and Lucas away in his vehicle. In a harrowing pursuit with Savoy and Lockdown's agents, the group barely managed to escape, until Lockdown launches a grenade in their direction. Tragically, Lucas is incinerated, but Cade, Tessa, and Shane manage to make a narrow getaway with the help of Optimus. Deep in the desert, the trio receives a warm welcome from Optimus's fellow Autobots, Bumblebee, Drift, Hound, and Crosshairs. Together with Cade's ingenuity, the group slowly but surely uncovers the dark truth behind the execution of the Autobots, a nefarious company known as KSI. In Chicago, Cade, Tessa, Shane, and the Autobots infiltrate KSI's headquarters in hopes of finding out the mastermind behind this heinous scheme. Joshua Joyce has a meeting with Darcy at the Chicago office to discuss important matters. During the discussion, Joshua reveals that KSI has replicated their own Transformers from the metal sourced from the deceased Autobots, which is now referred to as Transformium. As a result of their ingenuity, KSI has successfully built 2 prototypes by the names of Stinger and Galvatron. Cade was caught sneaking around KSI by security and was promptly taken in to meet Attinger. Later on, the Autobots broke into the KSI building to rescue Cade, and Optimus has an intense face-off with Joshua, promising that KSI will have to pay for their actions. In an attempt to foil their plans, Attinger sent Galvator and Stinger after them during the battle, but Galvatron unexpectedly malfunctioned. The notorious Lockdown ship arrived at the scene, wounding Optimus and taking him into captivity along with Tessa. Aboard Lockdown's ship, Optimus is taken captive by Lockdown, who proclaims that the creators require Optimus services. Later, Savoy is dispatched to retrieve one of the seed bombs from the ship. Meanwhile, Cade, Shane, and their Autobot allies infiltrate the vessel to save Tessa. A daring escape ensues, with the Autobots freeing Optimus and Cade seizing an alien weapon from Lockdown's armory. As the group splits up, the Autobots encounter a startling revelation. Galvatron is none other than the resuscitated Megatron himself, poised to destroy humanity. His head is having been used as the prototype for the Galvatron army. And with his sights set on the seed, Galvatron is poised to bring about human extinction. The Autobots pledge to stop him, knowing that once the dust settles, their duty to protect humans will finally be complete. Cade urgently contacts Joshua to inform him about Galvatron's nefarious plan. Under the guise of a trade agreement, Attinger grants Joshua the seed, which he plans to detonate in an unpopulated area, using the resulting transformium to construct more prototypes. However, Joshua wants out of the deal and tries to back out, but Attinger refuses to let him leave. Meanwhile, Hong Kong falls prey to an invasion by Galvatron and his army of prototypes. The Autobots rush to the rescue, only for their escape pod to crash land in the treacherous jungle, leaving Optimus, Drift, and Crosshairs stranded and alone. On the other hand, Hound and Bumblebee must confront the prototypes in a fierce battle to hold them back. Joshua meets up with Cade, Tessa, and Shane, desperately trying to keep the seed safe from their enemies. However, Attinger sends Savoy after them, determined to retrieve the valuable artifact at all costs. In a stunning display of courage, Cade confronts Savoy and throws him out of a window, finally rejoining the group as victory seems to be within their grasp. As soon as Optimus ventures into the dense jungle, he stumbles upon an astonishing discovery: an escape pod stocked with prisoners, none other than the awe-inspiring Dinobots. With his courageous spirit, Optimus manages to befriend the Dinobots, daringly riding them into the never-ending battle. With the battle continuing to escalate, even Bumblebee is forced to play his part in this all-consuming conflict, taking out Stinger with little remorse. But, just as the humans try to flee, Lockdown descends upon the scene, using his treacherous magnet to ensnare cars and boats and violently dropping them onto the street. It's a scene of utter chaos. Undaunted, Optimus fulfills his true potential, heroically overpowering the magnet and slaying the enemy with all the might and gallantry of a true warrior. But, against all odds, Lockdown proves to be an equally formidable adversary, ruthlessly plunging his own sword into Optimus, desperately attempting to seize power and seal his own victory. As Cade rushes to help, Attinger launches a deadly attack. In a desperate struggle, Optimus destroys his foe moments before Shane and Tessa yank out the sword, impaling him. With renewed strength, Optimus demolishes Lockdown, splitting him into two. Meanwhile, Galvatron flees, swearing vengeance. Concerned that his presence is a liability, Optimus orders the Autobots to safeguard the Jaegers before blasting into space to track down those who hired the merciless bounty hunter. Optimus's closing monologue echoes as a warning to all who threaten the Autobots: stay away from Earth, for their fate is sealed by the fury of Optimus Prime. I hope the video has kept you entertained. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to see more content just like this. Thanks for watching and wishing you guys a fantastic day full of exciting adventures.